Molly.
I don't think she's quite on to the live yet, because I tried to do it till we get in, and I was a minute late here, but seems like he'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, I'm here. I picked up my dog.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, just a nice, relaxing little Thursday, trying to build out some lineups. It's tell you what, if there was a case for a slate not to stack, this would be the slate.
Dude, forget that. I'm on tilt, man. I should have won the FanDuel lottery in the afternoon. Now it's only paying like 10, 15,000 for first. Dude, it was one of those like where I don't even need to get into it, but let's suffice to say, I had like the Astros Mets. It was like 10-8 in like the sixth, and I had the whole game double stacked, and I needed like literally like two singles in the last like 3 innings, and I couldn't do anything. It was like brutal.
Oh, that's terrible, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. But all right, I'm over it. On to the next one.
Okay, on to the next one. So I guess that brings us into tonight. What are we doing here?
Well, as I mentioned, as I prognosticated, the chalk is going to be, I imagine, Cleveland guy. And as you projected, the other part of the chalk is going to be the Luis Castillo guy. So it seems as though that's the deal. When I just built, let me see what I came up with. Because what I usually do is I just run something just to give something to talk about before I actually look at it.
Yeah.
And I was getting actually, hold on. It wasn't who I thought I was going to be getting. Hold on just one sec. As far as my stacks go, I was getting, like a lot of Texas.
Yeah, Texas is going to be popular.
And a lot of San Diego.
I like the San Diego. I came onto that one a little bit. I do have a full stack, but mostly I'm doing mini stacks, and I think the ownership will be low enough. I mean, also, as we point out every time, like the later those lineups come out, if it's after lock, like it's going to be a big difference.
Yeah.
The Dodgers just announced that they're going to start Gratterall, like the good reliever, which means it probably gives Grove one trip without having to face Trout and Ohtani, just for what it's worth.
Okay.
Probably a tiny knock to the Angels, who I like a little bit. I don't like them a little bit. I like them quite a bit.
Oh, really? I don't think I'm really getting to the Angels. As a matter of fact, like right now, like I play 30 lineups. I don't have a single Angel one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So I went really heavy on the Angels and the Dodgers. I'm going to go for these kind of things. If I don't think that anything makes enough sense, I don't care about. You give me a pitcher and who's as great as he is, as great as Ohtani is. It's not like he doesn't have like blow up games. And honestly, over his last few starts, he really has kind of been fortunate to get away with as little as he has. And I think it's going to be difficult to do that against the Dodgers. I think that this is a good spot for them in a sneaky way. As I keep saying about the Dodgers, like I'd be like an idiot on this kind of a slate not to play the Dodgers stack when I keep saying, God, they just don't hit against anybody except for the top level pitchers. And then you get Ohtani against them. How can we not take a little bit of a shot there?
That's a good point.
But I like that. I mean, even if you're not playing them as a stack, like getting to some of the expensive bets, that Mookie will be the only one who has any ownership. But like Freddie Freeman and Will Smith, like I love those guys. And I like this. So I like the West Coast teams, like the Dodgers. I like the Angels. I like the A's. I don't have full stacks, but I have a lot of 3 and 4 mans of the A's. And then that's pretty much the stacks I'm using. But I'm also like doing like 3-3-2, 4-2-2, 4-3-1. I don't think this is a slate where you need to try to overly force in the stack just because they're not as beautiful. And if there was one team, if you told me, if we just had a little better, like if we had to literally I don't know, maybe Strider and whoever else you consider the highest upside pitcher, maybe then I would say, hey, just go for the full Oakland 5-man, because I think that is a really viable route. They're so cheap. And there's, as much as we love this kid and all these things and everything like that, and the matchup's great. And by the way, he's like my second highest owned pitcher. But with all this stuff, I think that just playing the other side of it is at no ownership, at no cost. And what I like about the A's that's different than even the Indians on the other side, the Guardians. The A's are like, they put up points even when they don't score. Like Ruiz he's just going to, I'm telling you, every time he did it last night too, get on base, you steal a base. Done. Laureano, pretty similar, but also with some power upside. So does Seth Brown have power, and so does Noda. Jace Peterson has had a decent power year. So they're just so cheap that if you wanted to like play them with the 3 most expensive players, or maybe do a 4-man with your 4 favorite other players, I think that's really viable in these kind of slates.
Let me tell you the like my preliminary exposures here.
Yeah.
I like the Whitlock against Minnesota. But it looks as though, why do I have all this Darvish is like annoying. But I guess so. Darvish, Ohtani, Castillo, Gavin Williams, Whitlock. I do have 10%. My initial build is giving me 10% Brito, which is kind of sort of interesting, I guess.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, so Michael Grove is probably not even in play now, right?
Oh, I actually think that makes him more in play, but
because he gets the pitch. Okay,
I don't really think you should be trying to force in these plays just for no reason. Like play Martin Perez. Like,
I got one of him too.
Play Martin Perez along with Williams, and that's what I did. I mean, I have Darvish as the 5th rated pitcher. No, 4th. I have Castillo, then Whitlock, then Williams, then Ohtani, then Darvish. But I actually have less of Ohtani just because I don't actually buy it. It was like, I'm going to throw – so basically I just threw in a couple of lineups with Ohtani. But mostly it's going to be Castillo, Williams, Whitlock. And then Darvish is a pretty significant amount behind those guys for me. But I don't mind Martin Perez if you want to go double cheap. I wouldn't be using Grove, but I mean, it's not the worst play in the world. I still think he's okay. Like he's got some, it's not like he's like some of these other guys who the Dodgers have. He's really just pitching because they're injured. And he will give up a ton of home runs, though, this guy, the way he pitches. Anyway.
Are you playing FanDuel at all? 640?
No.
Okay, so I will tell you what I have there.
You have Nola.
Let me just see. I presume. I actually have just as much Ohtani as Nola, which is kind of bizarre since he's 1,400 more. He'll be probably half the ownership, I imagine. But let me just see the stats.
Are you worried about the weather in that game?
No.
Okay.
What's the weather?
It looks like orange, yellow for Ross.
I thought you asked. Do you know about the weather in that game? That's why I said no. I thought you asked about concerned about it. Okay, let me.
Yeah. How about in your area? Any chance for any shenanigans?
I mean, I not according to the Stacy Sheets report, but I don't know.
Well, you know what? I'll trust. There's the one person I trust over Roth, and that's Mrs. Sheets, because she's never been wrong yet in the time we've had.
Let's look at Atlanta Philly. It's rating a decent clip, and I best tonight. Yeah, so let's see. So that's the first game, right? So I'll be able to take a look at that.
Yeah,
probably should just fade it.
I mean, it's not like that. It's like the dream spot anyway. You have 13-mile-an-hour winds in from right field, 65 degrees.
Right.
It would be nice to play Philly, I guess, and potentially Nola, but I don't think you need to force either of those plays in. To answer Kevin's question, no, I'm not getting to any of Seattle. I just don't like. They're fine. It's totally fine. I just think that they do have Caballero batting leadoff at 2,400. I didn't notice that before. That makes them a little more interesting to me, but it's not just that I think Brito's not bad. It's just the Yankees have a good bullpen. They just don't give up a lot of runs. It's just simple as that.
You know what's cool, by the way, about you having the Dodgers and me having like San Diego. I'll have something to do at 11 o'clock to talk about. I think when we.
Yeah. At least, hopefully.
And Darvish, right? If you have Darvish going,
there's Darvish in there. I've seen San Diego as my other stack. So
and Ohtani, yeah, okay. So we got.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot happening. Well, for considering that it's a 7-game baseball slate.
Yeah. Any questions here? Anything?
No. Just Kevin Wise asked about getting to any Seattle sheets. Did you end up with any of them in your multi-entry stuff?
In Seattle?
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay, Molly, I gotta go with my dog. Hold on a second. I don't recall. Yeah, actually. Yeah, I do. I do have a little bit of Seattle. What do you think about them apples? I actually do. So there.
I like him better as a 3-man, but I understand it. It's not like there's not a whole lot that I love. So every stack is like, usually I say, oh, okay, I can argue for this stack, I can argue for that stack. I actually don't like any of the stacks particularly tonight. So
yeah, I got a couple of listen, you got Caballero at 2,400 hitting leader.
I know that makes it a little bit more appealing as a stack.
You know, the one even just and you have Suarez is only 3,600.
He's quick. He might he can steal a base.
With a Caballero?
Yeah.
They're all cheap. Hernandez, Teoscar's 3,300.
But there's partly a reason for this. You know? I always like them better against left-handed pitching.
Yeah, I know. I totally get it. I have to get my dog. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, grab your dog. But yeah, that's you know, again, it's I don't think it's that like I think it's a very good slate to get weird. So maybe I should have co-signed the Seattle thing without even thinking.
Yeah, I have to say it is getting a little cloudy around here. Now that you mention it. Stacy is back. I have to get into that.
And Kevin, yes, I'm getting to Bogarts to answer that question.
When Bobby gets to Xander Bogaerts, he's a freaking lock because you maybe it's not as much this year. You used to grudgingly. It would take a lot for you to get to him.
I felt like I was on the right path because remember there was a while where Bogaerts was more expensive than Corey Seager, Fernando Tatis. Like it was all these guys. I'm just like, I just play the other guy. Like I'll even stack them, and I'm not going to play him though. Yeah. But I'm definitely getting to him tonight. But also this because, I mean, honestly, it's pretty embarrassing how bad San Diego's been this year without like offensively without people realizing it. Let me just tell you right now, San Diego has the second lowest batting average other than the A's against right-handed pitching. They have the second lowest on base percentage, or the third lowest. The third lowest, just behind the aforementioned Seattle. The second worst. Seattle's the third worst team, the second worst team, and they're the third worst. Their slugging percentage and OPS, they're like 7th and 8th. Like San Diego has been legitimately one of the worst teams against right-handed pitching all season long. What they do, though, is they do have some walks in there for them, and they don't strike out at an unreasonable clip. But I can't believe that all year long San Diego can stay this like offensively inept. I just think they have to be better than that. I can't buy that all these guys aren't still really good. Anyway.
Again, for those who didn't hear the announcement, we're going to try to go. Definitely going to go live at 11, and by then I'm going to have updated ownership projections from the golf because I felt as though there was definitely needed to be tightened up, and then I'll finalize my golf builds.
Nice.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the golf.
My plan is to do the same. Oh, nice. That's great. That's awesome. I started getting more into it a little bit today. I feel like I'm still on a little bit of the last tournament hangover. It's really annoying when by the time you get to the tournament, there's already 2 guys who are like 7 under with 2 holes to go.
Right.
You're being told beforehand that anybody would be lucky if they break par today, and if the leader's going to be -1 or -2. Like
right.
That didn't work out that way.
My son finally hit a parlay this weekend.
You did? What did he hit?
He was like live betting the U.S. Open like 3 guys in a row, like 2 guys that are on 14 to make birdie or the same time or something like that.
Yeah.
And one he had I think it was the day before he needed like a Ricky Fowler like 5'9" incher for like 3,000 and it freaking lipped out. Like the first putt he missed in like since the Eisenhower administration. And then yesterday he needed like a Who's it? Who's the easy the 420 easy one that was missed? He missed one easy one. What was the one that we missed before you hit the good one?
Dustin Johnson situation.
Yeah, Dustin Johnson. He needed to do
birdie or something on the 14th.
Yeah, so he missed it. Then we had what was it? What was the one that we finally got?
It was Harry English to birdie.
Yeah, it was Harris English to birdie. Plus 950.
Oh, nice.
Wyndham Clark to bogey the par 3.
Right, and Wyndham Clark to bogey the par 3. That's right.
Oh, the short one?
Well, the one near the end, I guess. Yeah. So his first one was like kind of off the fringe, and then he put it to like
what
was it, like 8.5 foot?
47%.
Yeah, it was 47%. He lipped out, so he hit that one. Yep.
I wish I could do the regular live betting. That's why there was no DraftKings tent or no hospitality anywhere or anything. It would have been nice because we don't have legalized sports betting. It was just like I want to get in on this stuff.
No, you know.
3 months.
I actually.
Every one of these things, like, because they don't have the opposite. They're like, oh, it's -8, it's plus 910 for a birdie. So it's probably the real odds are probably like plus 2,000 or something like that.
No way. 2 guys a birdie and bogey for plus 125 to 1.
Oh, I'm sure they're giving you great odds.
Better chance of having an 8 straight bet with parlay.
They said they were interviewing like the FanDuel person, and they said that the average hold on like straight bets is like 6, 7, 8% or something, and on parlays it's like 40.
Oh, I know. It's in general, I get it, but I do think there's times like in the NBA games where I feel like you could really take advantage of some things.
I'm sure.
You know, I mean, also, you know, if somebody wanted to be so bold as this to play Tommy Fleetwood to make the top 5 after
let's go
after Saturday, you know what I mean? It was, I think he was like 150 to 1.
That's what we got to do, by the way, at the
Travelers.
At the 11 o'clock. Yeah, I gotta get a sports. I gotta get a bet down.
Oh yeah.
I gotta figure out who I want to play.
Yeah, unfortunately, everybody came on to the plays I like, so I'm probably going to be editing a little bit too.
Oh, but I just meant from a betting perspective.
No, I got you. I know what you're saying. I'm sorry. I should have been more clear.
Oh, people are on. Who are people on that you like?
I just think people are going to end up with more like Harris English than I initially.
Oh, you think so?
I had him like early on. I was looking. He was like 3% projected ownership when we did our.
Wow, he was just on TV too much last week. I don't think that could be.
I know. But I did. But by the way, I did call him last week, which was a
yes, you did.
Play.
Yes, you did.
But
yeah, he's still the guy that withdrew with a back injury before the first hole for me. That's it.
Well, also, watching him play, it doesn't like inspire confidence. The guy just walks around chewing gum as if like he's like wandering through Central Park or something.
Right.
Yeah, Nolan Jones did do all right last night. That's good for him. Nolan Jones is a really good hitter, a really good young prospect.
It was a great spot.
Great spot, perfect spot for a home run.
It's a pretty spot.
I was listening to Cheese talk the other day, and he was talking about how like he went to the game with his son, and he's like, "What's going on? You always predict all these home runs and stuff on your show and everything like that. How come we've only seen one home run?" And she's just like, "Those aren't real things. Like you can't pick someone to hit a home run and have them just hit home runs. You know what I mean?" Although tonight, I'm going to say that Freddie Freeman is going to hit a home run.
There you have it.
There you have it. There's another one that can never win.
No, it's gonna win after the rest of the lineup is already dead, probably.
Yeah, that's true. I have very little else to talk about basketball wise.
You mean baseball wise?
Baseball wise. Excuse me.
You can talk about basketball if you want.
There is some basketball stuff going on. Let's just grab some.
Centro DFS MLB projections have been updated.
Yes.
On Sabres Simulator.
Did we get it official that the Porzingis did officially go through? They're still working on it, but they're trying to. The Celtics is trying to get Porzingis.
Ooh.
I actually like the move for them because everybody else is trying to find like guys and ways they can play against a team with Jokic and stuff like this. Well, how about taking him 30 feet away from the basket? That might help.
Yeah, is that the way you really want to?
I don't mind it from them because they have Robert Williams also.
No, but is that the way you really want to manage a team? Just like to go after like one player? I mean, like to try to beat one player?
Well, it's funny because I mean, it's the point, the good case to your argument is like, you really like the best example was in my life, in the recent life era, was Shaq. Shaq for the 7-year period was everybody tried to do everything, including changing the rule, everything. They were trying to do anything they could to try to figure out a way to beat Shaq. And it never worked. It never worked. None of the teams that actually beat Shaq and the Lakers team actually were tried to build that way. But I do think that like with the moves that the Suns made with getting Beal, that was a very clear, hey, we have to get a lot better fast, and we're going to pay $50 million to Bradley Beal as a third option. And the only player in the NBA with a no trade clause anymore.
That's how little I know. So the Suns got Bradley Beal?
No. Bradley Beal went to Phoenix.
That's what
so
I
it's
said.
Beal, Booker, Durant, and Ayton.
Wow.
Paul's in no man's land. Probably ends up with the Lakers, something like that.
Who do you think ends up with the Lakers?
I think there's a pretty decent chance Chris Paul does.
Oh, he had a really, really good interview on where was he on TV last night? Some bookies promoting or something. He looked really good. He looked really good. Good interview.
I just can't believe that he can still be that effective at his age. I don't think like you want him playing crunch. You just don't want guys like that playing crunch time in general.
Yeah, he's already doing his book. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say.
I know. No, I hear you. He's a good guy, like a great guy. I always, love Chris Paul, but in a way that makes a lot of sense.
All right, so I'm doing the golf projections now, actually. And with any luck, I'll moving into the Hamptons at the end of the week. So far, Joel is cooperating at the hospital, so it's good.
I have to tell you a funny story. So I have a friend who's he's like a world-renowned like piano player. He's married to my cousin.
Okay.
A really cool Italian guy, just one of the nicest people, but was so over the COVID stuff. He got COVID. His son got COVID. His little 1-year-old son, and his son was really, really sick. He didn't get really sick, but he still traveled to New York and never told anybody about the COVID or anything. Didn't wear a mask in the plane or anything. And I just was like, dude, that's just so crazy. And he's like the sweetest guy. And he just like couldn't process like how crazy we were to think that it was okay. Like, forget what you think about COVID, just even the flu and stuff. Like, just don't even if I have the flu and I'm on the plane, I'm probably going to wear a mask because I don't want to get everybody else sick. It's just morally corrupt. I feel like, I don't know. But he was playing out in the Hamptons. They had like a couple weeks. I was going to tell you guys to check it out. But then after that, I was like, maybe not don't tell Sheets to go over there just to protect him.
Yeah, that was I just heard the story about somebody else that did something like that they got diagnosed with COVID and they just said, who cares? I'm just going on a plane.
Yeah, it's just
put a mask on, at least do something. I mean, be a little responsible. I mean, like,
right.
Telling you to get close your store down. You know what I mean? Like, just
right.
If you're sick, don't cough in my eye. You know what I mean? That's pretty
right.
much.
Right.
I don't think I'm asking for too much.
No. And then let's see what else we got here. Yeah, Porzingis. That's pretty interesting, that Porzingis thing. Actually, that would work pretty well in Boston.
6. I'm almost done with this.
All right, guys, if there's any questions or thoughts, otherwise, I really don't have actually much to even go through anymore. Right now, my main build is half Dodgers and half Angels.
Well, let me have some fun. Let me do something. Let me update my I'm almost done. Let me run. I'm gonna run a new set of golf projections right now and just tell you where the ownership of Jason Day is, because that was the one that I was concerned about, right? Let's see. That was the one that I thought was, and I'm gonna tell you about the Gala. Those are the two that we were like
right.
Thinking about. Let me see what I have here. And they're gonna do another one later, but let me just see. 1 second. Let me just run FanDuel while I'm here. 6:25. There's no news out of Philly yet, right? I presume. Right. I'm asking. I don't know. Only because I don't have any of my screens open.
I don't have anything there. It's different than what we just updated.
All right, let me see.
Nelson Cruz back in the lineup for the Padres
Oh
tonight.
my God, it's Old Timers Day.
Their whole team looks like an Old Timers Day.
Okay, so now I have, Jason Day. I don't know what it is. It's like Saberson's the only one that has him like more than double-digit owned. It's strange.
Probably wrong.
I think. Yeah, but and then Russell Henley 26%. That all seems to make sense.
Yeah.
The Eckroat still 15.
Tell you what, I think I'm going to change my lineup up a little bit just to get a little Caballero exposure.
I think. I mean, it's just so cheap.
It just feels like a free, like it's like 7 points to 12 points most of the time. I feel like.
Oh, because you said he can run too, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to.
But he's only second base eligible. Yeah. It's too bad. I really wanted to play Vargas tonight, but so be it. Trout Ward. Maria Suarez. Ugh.
Somebody reached out to me in a private DM asking me if I want to swap with him in the MMA thing.
Oh, interesting.
Totally ignored him. Kidding me?
Well, if you knew him, though, you might not, right? Like, you might swap 100%.
Totally ignored. Nah, I'm totally ignoring.
You totally would have?
Totally ignoring. Nope. Just ignoring.
Like, even a friend of yours doing it?
Ignore. I don't have any friends that are in there. I mean, like, whatever. If it's a friend of mine, yeah, but these are just professionals. They're all in there. Like, and one of them wants to swap with me. Screw him.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to do this myself. I want to win it myself. And if I lose it, I'm going to lose it myself. And I'm just not interested.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, like.
No, it's definitely probably the smart thing to do. But then I'd be wondering, make sure you take the other side of that fight that I talked about. I want to make sure that exposure.
Yeah, that's fair. All right.
All right, I guess I'm going to fly too. I will see you guys at 11.
All right, good luck, everybody. We'll see you guys later. Be in Discord if anybody needs anything.
Okay, later.
High on San Diego, low on Cleveland for me.